Good afternoon, everyone. So we are going to start with the subject Transportation Engineering 1. Okay. So myself, Assistant Professor Nitish Moite, working in Department of Civil Engineering, Bharatiya Vidyapeeth College of Engineering, Kolhapur, and I have completed ME Civil Structures. Okay. So in the Transportation Engineering 1, in the previous lecture, we have seen that what is the syllabus, what are the topics that we are going to see, what are the experiments, and what is the term work, what reference book do you are supposed to have the reference of for studying this transportation engineering one subject. Okay, so in detail we'll start. So we'll start with the unit number 1. So unit number 1 is nothing but introduction to highway engineering. Okay, so in this we are going to cover the points like modes of transportations, their importance and limitations, the importance of highway transportation, highway development and planning, principles of highway planning, then road development in India, NHAI, that is National Highway Authority of India, NHDP, National Highway Development Program, PMGSY, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, MSRDC, Maharashtra State Road Development Corporation, then classification of roads, road network patterns, planning surveys, then terrain classification, design speed, vehicular characteristics, highway cross-section elements. And lastly, the side distance, that is introduction to side distance, reaction time, analysis of side distance, analysis of overtaking side distance, intersection side distance. Okay. So we'll see one by one. So in the today's lecture, we are going to see these points. We are going to cover these points: importance of infrastructure development, then modes of transportations, their importance and limitations, the importance and scope of highway transportation, then highway development and planning, then principles of highway planning, Indian Road Congress, in short, we can call it as IRC, objectives of IRC. Okay, so these points we are going to cover. So we'll see one by one. Okay, so first, importance of infrastructure development. Okay, so importance of infrastructure development means what? Correspondingly, there are roles which are to be taken into consideration while transportation engineering has been dealing. Okay, so this infrastructure development in which transportation is the major factor, so which contributes the economic, social, and cultural development of any of the country. Okay, so in the economic role, okay, the natural resources like food, clothing, and shelter, which is needed by the man, that are been required to be transported from one place to another. Okay, that is from production to the place of demand. Then correspondingly, the produced commodities like medicine, industrial products, etc., need to be transported for the distribution. And the inadequate transportation facilities, okay, slows down the economic growth of a country. Okay, so in order to play a proper economic role, we require proper infrastructure development from economic role of view. Then social role. Okay, so social role means what? Decentralization of the population centers away from the congested areas. Okay, can be effectively done only if the proper transportation system is provided. Okay, so wherever the underdeveloped areas are there, okay, so we can connect them by developed areas by transportation systems. Okay, so again, the international understanding for better relations and in order to maintain the peace can be improved by providing the efficient transportation system. We are knowing that. Okay, in order to travel from one part to other part. Okay, so in such a case where there is an opportunity to exchange our information, culture with others, for that purpose also we require the infrastructure development. Then safety role. Okay, so this safety role deals with efficient transportation, which is essential for rushing aids to affected areas. So right now we are knowing that flood prone areas are there. Okay, in such a case of pandemic situation, we require proper transportation system or corresponding infrastructure development is required. So in such a case or during the earthquakes also, okay, if the roads are not been proper there, okay, proper infrastructure development is not there. So in such a case, we can't provide the correspondingly transportation facility. Okay, so which The transportation in general we can call it as in case of safety role. This transportation helps in maintaining law and order. Okay. And last one, strategic role. So this transportation is of great importance for strategic movement, that is movement of army, ammunition, etc. in case of emergency. So we are knowing that in case of strategic role, this roads or transportation system plays an important role. Okay, so this was dealing with the importance of infrastructure development. Next, we will see modes of transportations. So basically, we are knowing that there are four basic modes of transportations, namely roadways, which we also call it as highways. Second, railways, then waterways, and fourth, airways. Okay, so here you can see that are nothing but roadways or highways, then waterways, railways, and airways. Okay, so we'll see one by one. So roadways or highways. Okay, so this is the only mode which gives maximum service. Okay, so this mode has maximum flexibility for travel with reference to route, direction, time, and speed through any type of road vehicle. Also, we know that door-to-door service is possible only by this mode only, that is by the roadways. Okay, so other three modes, that is railways, airways, or waterways, cannot. They are supposed to depend on the roadways only. Okay, because we are knowing that they cannot transfer to the doorstep or to the customer side. Okay, then next comes the railways. So this mode is advantageous for longer distances. Okay, so this mode is comfortable. Okay, it is somewhat lesser comfortable as compared to airways. Okay, but as compared to airways, if it is affordable, that is air railways. Okay, more comfortable will be given in the airways only, but it is high costlier. Okay, so railway transport is economic because the energy requirement, as we know that lesser energy is required in order to carry bulk amount of weightage or volume. Okay, so almost only one fourth amount of energy is required. Okay, so therefore this mode is advantageous for transportation of bulk goods. Okay, and uh, and it requires, as we are knowing that for railways corresponding providing the mode of transportation, huge amount of investment and excessive land acquisition is required. Okay, so it is also a second part of the railways. Third part is waterways. Okay, so transportation by waterways is the slowest among the all the four modes, that is roadways, railways, airways, and waterways. Okay, so this mode needs minimum energy to haul unit through unit distance. Okay, so this mode is mainly used for transportation of ores and other crude materials. Okay, and last one is nothing but airways. So this has become a common mode of transport. We are knowing that in order to have a fast movement of either human being, perishable goods, or mail or long distances and across long continents also. Okay, so this gives more comfort or maximum comfort as compared to all remaining three modes of transportations. And also likewise of the railways, these airways involves high investment and operating costs. Okay, so we know that the cost of the ticket in order to travel from one place to other place, if you are going to compare in all these modes, it is higher for the airways only. Okay, but if you are having less time, in less time you can achieve that point. Okay, or you can reach to that point. Coming to the next point, so highway engineering. Okay, so you can see here. Okay, that is nothing but there are certain turns are there, curves are there. Okay, state highways are there, so which are being handled by this NHAI, that is National Highway Authority of India, then MSRDC. Okay, so all are these are nothing but government agency. Okay, so which are being handled by this government only. Okay, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Okay, so these are the facts that are been taken into consideration. Okay, so we'll move further. Importance and scope of highway engineering. Okay, so this part is an important when you are going to deal with the highway engineering. Okay, that is we should know what is the importance and scope. So we are knowing that roads are generally constructed on small embankments slightly above the general ground level in order to avoid the difficult drainage and maintenance problems. Okay, and such roads are therefore termed as highway, and the science and technology dealing with roads are generally called as highway engineering. So this was the general introduction to the highway engineering. Okay, so what do you mean by highway and what do you mean by highway engineering? Okay, moving further. So basically, the highway engineering deals with various phases like we know that development, okay, then planning, okay, then alignment. Okay, so development planning and locations, which includes we know that basis for planning, study of master plan, surveys and highway alignment. Then correspondingly, what are the materials that are required for the construction and maintenance, which includes study of highway materials, mixed design, highway construction, and highway maintenance. Okay. Then traffic control. Okay. So in case of traffic control, as we know that various signals are required, various latest technologies are required in order to deal with the traffic congestion. Okay, that is linked with the traffic control. Next is the highway geometric design and location. Okay, so highway and geometric design corresponding is nothing but which includes design of the roads, curves, provide gradients, super elevation, side distances. Okay, so this also includes the design of pavements, design of drainage, etc., whether it is subsurface or surface drainage. Then pavement design as per the IRC code, whether it is a flexible pavement or it is of a rigid pavement. Then construction and maintenance, economic consideration. Okay, so this economic, finance and administration, which includes road user cost, economic, then what is the general quality as, what are the highway project costs, then what is the amount of toll to be collected from the person, so those are going to make use of that. That is dealing with the economic consideration and financial and administration. Okay, so that was the scope of highway engineering and importance. Then knowing what do you mean by highway engineering, scope of highway engineering, okay, and correspondingly basics that will start. So before starting with the actual transportation engineering, which we are going to see what is the highway engineering, we should know that how the road development was been done. Okay, so it is not a case that particularly it was all of the sudden in one night only it was been told that to construct expressways, national highways, that it should be having such amount of width only, or it should be having such kind of material to be utilized, or this should be the mixed design. Okay, so basically there were certain durations at which it was been decided after having certain research, after formation certain committees. Okay, and later on having improvement in that, the further work was being carried out, and that was nothing but called as road development plans in India. Okay, so before that, one Jaikar committee was being formed in 1927. Okay, so this road development should be made a national interest since the local government do not have financial. So we are knowing that basically whomsoever is going to construct the road in a particular area, so it is not having proper finance or technical capacity for the road development. So for that purpose, they are supposed to depend on the central government. Okay, so central government was does it levies extra tax on various commodities that we use. Okay, so that is nothing but extra tax on petrol from road users. Okay, so which will raise the road development fund. Then in to establish a semi-official technical institution to pull technical knowledge, sharing of ideas, and to act as an advisory board body. Okay, so this was the decision made in the Jaker committee. Then to create a national level institution to carry research, development works and consultation. So as I told you that before deciding any road to be constructed in a particular area, it was decided to do research, then development works and do the consultation in a particular area. So in order, so for that you are supposed to form the national level institution. So this was in the Jaikar committee. Then later on, this Jaikar committee was only been further carried out and been carried forward in the Indian Road Congress, that is nothing but IRC. Okay, so this Indian Road Congress was been formed in 1934 by the government of India. Okay, to collect the ideas and expertise. Okay, for the planning and development of roads in the country to meet the demand. Okay, so whatever the vehicular traffic was being there, so in order to meet that needs, okay, so this Indian Road Congress was been formed, okay, by the government of India. So for that purpose, various again road development plans were being developed by this only. Okay, then to recommend standard specifications. So as we are knowing that IS code is there for any structure. Okay, so we tell it as IS 800 2007 is required for steel, IS 456 it is required for your knowing the concrete. Okay, so likewise IRC was the basic standard specification which was recommending which material should be used for the construction and correspondingly what should be its properties. Okay, likewise they decided the standard specifications to provide a platform for expression of professional opinion on matters relating to roads and road transport. Okay, so this IRC provided a platform. Okay, so whomsoever is the expert in that or who is having an professional experience in that, okay, so he will tell that and according to that, whatever the changes are required that can be done. That was been deal in the IRC. So there were certain objectives of the Indian Road Congress that we see right now, one by one. So the first objective was to promote and encourage the science and practice of building and maintenance of roads. Okay. The next was to provide a channel for the expression of collective opinion of its members regarding roads. Next, to promote the use of standard specifications and to propose specifications. So right now you are knowing that whatever are the road being constructed, are they relating to the standard specifications or not? Okay, so it should be controlled by a particular authority that was nothing but your IRC. Then they were telling that to make use of that standard specification only to advise regarding education, experiment and research connected with roads. Right now you are knowing that various experiments are going on, various new materials are being getting researched that to use in the road so that the durability or the even if they are being exposed to the extreme conditions, they can be utilized. Okay, so best example is nothing but use of plastic in roads. Okay, then to hold periodical meetings to discuss technical questions regarding roads, because we are knowing that technically what is the problem which is occurring on the site, it is a different one, and whatever we are dealing in the what you call it as in the lab work, it is different one. Okay, so in order to deal with such kind of problems, periodical meetings to be hold, that was also the objective, and to discuss what are the technical questions that is regarding the roads. The next, to suggest legislation for the development, improvement and protection of roads. Okay, anyone can tell that correspondingly certain improvement is required and protection of roads. Then to suggest improved methods of administration, planning, design, construction, operation, use and maintenance of roads. So for what purpose it should be used, what type of material should be used, how the road should be maintained, okay, how it should be operated. Then in order to reduce the number of accidents, then to ensure overall safety and to reduce the travel cost, okay, and time. Okay, so this were the certain objectives of the IRCs. Okay, got it. So next one is nothing but dealing with Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. In short, we can call it as MORTH. Okay, that is Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. So this was one of the again authority which was been given to look after planning, development and maintenance of national highways in the country. Okay, only to look after whatever is the planning development is being going on or the maintenance of the national highways which are being constructed throughout the country. So then to extend technical and financial support to state governments for the development of state roads and the roads of interstate connectivity and economic importance. Then so which involves standard specifications for roads and bridges in the country. So this was the one of the authority, okay, so which was been given rights to see, to check what are the standard specification of the roads, even only not to give only technical correspondingly what you call a solution or financial support. Okay, so also to look after what is the road which is been which what type of road is being constructed, what type of bridges are being constructed, whether they are up to the mark or not, whether the set specifications, standard specifications that are being laid down by the IRC, whether they are being utilized or not, that were been seen by the MORTH, that is Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Moving further, highway development and planning. Okay. So we know that planning is one of the most important things before starting any project. Okay. So basically we are the civil engineer. So we do certain planning. Okay. And which is nothing but the basic requirement for the development and construction of any kind of project. So right now we are dealing with the transportation. In case of that, also in highway, we require a proper planning. So if you're not having proper planning, you cannot go further. Okay. Suppose it has been told to you to construct a road in a particular area. So you should do the proper preliminary survey. What type of road should be constructed? Suppose land acquisition is required, we can acquire or not. Okay. What type of how much amount of money should be is required, or how much is the expenditure it is required in order to construct that particular type of road, whether it is required to make use of in new technology in that. Okay. So what are the standard specifications? So we require a basic requirement. Okay. So that is nothing but dealing with the planning. So this highway development and planning is very important in the overall development of the country. Okay. So which deals with the planning, development, traffic operation and control, pavement design, construction and maintenance of roads. Okay. So that is nothing but the highway development and planning. Okay. Next. So there are certain principles of highway planning, okay, that we should know. So that first principle is to propose road links should be a part of the planned road network for the state or nation. Okay, so whatever are the roads that are being to be constructed, so they should be interlinked with each other. Okay, so that the proper network is being formed within the state or within the nation. Okay, so there should be a proper planned road network. The next principle is the importance of the road shall be based on the traffic demand, and hence its types should fall under the standard classification. Okay, so it is not a case that in a particular area we are not knowing that how much amount of how much number of vehicles, what type of vehicles, what type of weight the vehicles are going to carry through that road. Okay, so unless and until we are not knowing that what is the importance or what type of vehicles are to be going to be traveled on that, okay, that is traffic demand, we are not knowing, we can't go for the construction of the said road. Okay, so it might be a case that you are going to construct an expressway and on that only a bullock cart is going to transfer, not other than that. Okay, so it should not be a like that case. Okay, or it should not be a case that it is a village road on which the heavy trucks, okay, are going to travel. Okay, so it should not be a case also. So depending upon the traffic demand, you are going to do the highway planning. Then the maintenance needs of the roads should be received proper attention by setting aside funds for this purpose. Okay, so we are knowing that correspondingly after construction of the roads, okay, what happens, what whomsoever is the contractor, okay, if it is been done by the government contractor, it is okay, no problem, the maintenance will go on. But if it is done by a private person, okay, in opposite to that, whatever is the proper attention is required. Okay, suppose there is certain damage, certain cracks are being developed, so certain potholes are being created. So for that purpose, who is going to raise the funds? Okay, so for that purpose, from where the funds are to be raised? Okay, so for that purpose, proper attention is to be made. That has been told. Then statutory provisions for traffic regulations should be formed. That is correspondingly at particular location we are knowing that the traffic congestion has been taking place. So in that case, we required proper signals provisions. Okay, zebra crossing we required, or rumblers are required to be provided. Okay, so from that point of view, we required certain statutory provisions. Okay, so these were the principles of planning. Next, what is the necessity of highway planning? Okay, so right now we are knowing what do you mean by highway development planning. Okay, we know that highway planning is required. Okay, principles of highway planning we have seen, but what is the necessity of highway planning? That also we should know. Okay, So it is required for planning and efficient network of the roads and for safe traffic operations. Suppose we are not doing any kind of highway planning, okay, then correspondingly the traffic operations will not be safe, okay, and there will not be proper network of the road connection, okay. So for reaching a particular place, you might require a more time or it will be more difficult. Then next, to plan for the future requirements and the developments of the roads in the country. So whenever you are going to construct a particular road, suppose it is a village road, in future it might be a case that it might go for the major district road, or it might be a case also that national highway it will be constructed on that particular road only. So from future point of view, that is future requirements of the future point of view, such kind of development of roads is required. That is nothing but the necessity of highway planning. Then to plan for construction and maintenance of various types of the road network. Okay, so right now you are knowing that flexible and rigid pavement, that is tar or bitumen, and the concrete roads are being constructed. So for that we required various technologies and correspondingly maintenance of various types of road networks is required. So we required planning in such a case and to work out the financing system. Okay, so that is the main part. Okay, whenever you are dealing with a particular road, okay, so you are knowing that what amount of the money is required in order to construct a particular road or in order to get sanction that particular construction activity to be done by you. Okay, that funds should be raised. That is nothing but dealing with the financing system. So that is nothing but the necessity of highway planning. Okay, so in the today's lecture we have seen the points like importance, then importance of road planning, then what do you mean by highway engineering, okay, Indian Road Congress, okay, what are the objectives of IRC, then what is the importance of infrastructure development from economic role, social role, strategic role, okay, or safety role, okay, then correspondingly the what is the scope of highway engineering, okay. So these points we have covered in the today's lecture. In the next lecture we are going to see what are the road development plans. Okay, so after forming the IRC, that is Indian Road Congress, certain road development plans were been formed, that is Nagpur Road Development Plan, Bombay Road Plan, then Lucknow Road Plan. Okay, so we actually decided the proper future development of the road or network in the country. Okay, so it was decided in particular in each of this, that is Nagpur Road Plan, Bombay Road Plan, or Lucknow Road Plan, that how much kilometer of the roads should be constructed in a particular stretch, okay, in how much duration, okay, and how to achieve it, what to do, what type of material should be used, how the classification of the roads should be done, okay, that was been decided by this road development plans. Okay, so we'll stop here and we'll continue in the next lecture. Okay, thank you.